Welcome back to Behavioral Finance and FinTech. As a demonstration, I'm going to show you how to download and install those data guide and then download the data that you need to do this kind of things in your Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so you need to first download data guide, as you see in my screen over here, data guide 5. But how do I do that? Well, Google is there for you, right? Here, yeah, so data guide install, and then download data guide 5, and either Korean or English, doesn't matter, and then there will be data guide. You can just download it. I think this is it. What is it? Data guide. There's a manual like this, and then download, right? Yeah. And the manual will be there. Just go ahead and download, follow it. Yeah, download. If it doesn't work this way or that way, go ahead and download it. And installing it, the password and ID is FNSKKU. Just once, right? Not twice. Right, so that's that. Now, once you install it, then what? Then you have to run data guide this one. But before that, you have to make sure your Excel is closed. All your Excel is closed. Make sure about it. And then first run data guide and then open up your Excel. Okay? Why is that? Why? Because Excel data guide is a tab within Excel. It's a built-in, not a built-in, but it's an add-in kind of a function. But I say kind of. It's not a function itself, but you have to run it each time. So data guide, double-click it, and then open your Excel, and then it will show like this. You see in Excel, it automatically opens up, but without any file over here. You see data guide tab is constructed because I installed it before. And then perhaps I will just start a file, right? Make sure it is A1 cell over there. And I don't need it that much. Yeah, okay. Data guide, and then go to data center. I'm going to focus on PB ratio, PB. For that part, I need market cap on the numerator and then book value of equity and the denominator, right? Also, I will work with ROE so that I will construct this kind of a chart myself, right? So ROE, and then perhaps growth rate expectation for our discussion purpose. So let's download those things. In fact, the downloading, you cannot download everything in one shot, but rather you have to do it time and again, right? Cross-sectionally, I want to look at all different companies. Yes, you see this. If you are international students, sorry about this being Korean language oriented. This is where you need a Korean students partner in your team, right? And then if your team is 100% exchange students, let me know. And then just for a translation, this is 기업 means like corporations, and 지수 means like index. It's not Blackpink 지수, but it's an index, right? Stock indexes and things like that. DR, that's depository receipt. 파생 is like derivatives, like call option, put option. ELW is equity linked warrant kind of things. I don't know why they don't combine these two. And this is for tab for funds, right? So tap in the corporations, and you will see data guide running on more time, and it will generate something on your left hand side and right hand side. Wait for that. Right. And you see, right, voila, okay, it pops up these Left hand side, you see similar tabs, right? Equivalent, the Kiop, corporations, index DR, directory, the depository receipt, and the derivatives, and then ELW and fund. The thing is, here in the center panel, this is the panel that you ultimately order the computer to generate or download those data and submit it. Okay, but left hand side is specifying those companies or indices that you are interested in. Narrow down your scope and then bring it over here to the left hand side of your centerpiece. For example, Samsung전자 is over here. The company name is over here and company code is over there. Code, the ticker symbol, right? So for example, if I want to download the data of one company, Samsung Electronics, drag and drop it over here. Click it and drag and drop it. 2 times no duplicate, please. If you don't need it, like this, right? Don't need it, delete it. Yeah, and then it just deletes. And then if you want to download these things as a group, right, like this, and then if you want to delete all those things, then you just click it, this one. Okay, so you want to specify the companies over here, but the thing is, over here, how many stocks do you have? Currently 2,317 different stocks are listed in the Korean stock market. You can see it in 2 different stock exchanges, Korean Stock Exchange and Kosdaq. Okay, fine. And then can you look at overseas? You can try that, but in the US, right, and other countries, you can look at it, right? Britain, Japan, Singapore, but only a limited number of stocks are available in other countries. Like for example, Hong Kong, only 26 stocks. They have thousands of stocks over there. In the US, they have 3,000 stocks, but it only has like 1,800 stocks. So I would not go there. Anyway, but Korean stocks, it's exclusively here. Everything is here. Now what? Yeah, excluding preferred stocks. So I'm just gonna focus on common stocks only. Don't you need preferred stocks? Forget about those complicated stuff, right? Yes. And then listed, or listed, to be listed, delisted. Okay. So what is this about? By default, you're downloading only the listed stocks as of today. Okay. As it turns out, there are many companies that gets delisted after poor performance or bankruptcies or liquidation or self-selection to be delisted. All kinds of reason could be there. Private, becoming a private company. So delisted companies are excluded if you are using it, the default setup, right? But sometimes you may want to include all those stocks that was historically present, okay, existed. That's all option over here. Or you want to focus on those companies that is to be listed, that is going to do IPO in the future. You can narrow it, you can choose those set of companies by doing this. I've never done that before. 11 stocks are available, right? About to go into the, what is that? The IPO. List is the one I would do. If you choose all, you will see 3,370 stocks, whereas listed is like only 23,000. So 1,000 of them. Ever since 1980 up until today, right? About 1,000 stocks got delisted. And then, some more than 1,000 stocks, by the way. Because there are more than, as many number of stocks, got listed, right, on you. Anyway, so focus on the listed stocks and then company, right? You can choose to go for all or companies or in real estate investment trust or other kind of ETF and then ETN or investment company or funds and things like that. But let's just focus on companies only. What if I choose all? Well, it increases to 3,000. Okay. But I don't want these REITs or other non-companies. So focus on companies only. And then all companies, yes, you can narrow down your scope, right? So if I just click everything over here, Control A, and select everything, and then drag it, and then it will be like all the 2,300 companies will be available, will be downloadable from here. Okay. But you may say that's too many. I don't need that many. Okay. I don't need that many. If that is the case, you can narrow down your scope over here to a certain industry that you are interested in. You see 2317 over here. Now its computer is ready to command download or not. But I say I don't need all those. Okay. Let's focus on what kind of companies would you like? I need to exclude banks. That's your job. Okay. What about healthcare? Medical industry. Fine. And it spits out 92 of them. Okay, fine. 92 of them are available. And then fiscal month. Yeah, don't touch this one. Yeah, I would say I would just go over here, Control All, Control A, and then drag it and drop it. Okay, 92 of them is available. If you're not interested in this one, you can scroll down and see all those industries that you are interested in. You can also narrow down your stock exchanges, right? But I don't go there, right? 외관법, 벤처 투자. All these kind of things may be helpful for you, OTC or smaller companies, because Kakao Bank is a younger company. It's up to you, okay? But basically what I did is just the existing KSE and Kosdaq companies. Out of it, just focus on the healthcare, and then let's identify which stock is overvalued or undervalued using relative valuation technologies. Now, I said PB ratio, right? For that part, I first need a market cap as of most recent date, trading date. That is yesterday's. Now, for that part, I should go to calendar option over here. Calendar date, most recent one, 1 day market cap. Okay, daily frequency, the frequency definition, and then the period. Well, it's by default, it says let's do it over the past 1 year, 252 trading days, I guess. But I don't need all those, right? I need 2021 yesterday's, because this is November 1st, November 1st. Remember the data guide, it is daily updated because this is Korean data, cheaply available for Korean universities, right? So we have the access to it 1 day after, okay? Why do I say this? When it comes to US data, okay, when you go to, then I have to go to the WRDS, there the data is updated annually. So the most recent data that I can download is only December 31st of last year. How about the most recent 10 months or something? No chance. It's too expensive. We don't subscribe to that one. So that's why data guide is much more relevant for our research purpose in this Korean market. Anyway, so that's that. Yesterday's market cap I want to get. Okay, and then market cap unit is Korean won, and then if it were non-trading day, like, let's exclude it, and then unit of currency Korean won. Not just that, I want to summarize it to be in the unit of billion Korean won, which is equivalent to about $1 million US, right? Otherwise, you're gonna be flooded with numbers. I don't want that. Now, over here in the right hand side, right, what do I want? Well, I want to specify the item that I want to download, and that is market cap. Where do we get the market cap? Usually I go to the stock information over here. Okay, 주식, 티커별, 기업별, right? And then you see 시가총액. Right. So this is the market cap, 시가총액, 시총. And then you have two different options. But what are those? And I'm going to select only one of them. So 시가총액. And you see, we don't know what the heck this means, but you can expand the description. Okay? 상장 예정 주식수 포함 versus 미포함. So the number of shares outstanding, there's two ways of calculating number of shares outstanding in Korea, whereas only one way in the United States. So to follow US standard, right? I want to focus on the 상장 예정, the number of shares number of shares to be listed. Okay, in the future, some number of stocks will be available in the future. Should we include this planned number of shares outstanding versus not? Let's forget about that part. Let's just narrow down to the stocks currently outstanding. 상장 예정 주식수, 미포함. Did I say, what did I say? 미포함, alright? So this is it, 미포함, right? So this is the market cap that I'm interested in, okay? So make sure it is over here, A1 cell, and then submit, see what happens, voila. And then you see, and then it goes down, and then for this 95 different stocks, the data is getting stacked up in a horizontal manner. Okay, for each different stocks, okay, different company name, you see 종근당, 녹십자 Holdings, and then their market cap in the unit of billion Korean won is shown over here. So this is 566, like 5,660억, okay, things like that. So once it is done, you saw this bar, right? And now it is complete, right? On this day, the market cap of these guys are shown like this. If you scroll to the right, you see it is finished over here. Okay, so that's market cap. I would say market cap as of 11/01/21. Okay. So that is it, market cap. And then the next tab, right? The next tab, what do I want? I want a book value of equity. So I say, take it out. Okay. Keep the same company name. But I want to go to the 재무제표 financial statement. And if you expand it, you see 재무상태표, that's balance sheet. And I want to focus on, what is it? 총자본, that's book value of equity, right? So I just drag and drop over here. Okay? And then what? Fiscal, I have to make sure it is fiscal year based ones. Okay? Fiscal year based ones, I just need this most recent fiscal year's value. Okay, by default it starts from 2017 and goes until 2021, but I want to focus on 2020 because that's the fiscal year that finished just before, right? December 31st. Usually 99, almost all Korean companies fiscal year end is like to December 31st. Things are different in the United States. 80% of them in the United States, 80% of them fiscal year finishes on December 31st, and the rest of them varies, right? January, February, they go all over the place. So complicated. But in Korea, it's very simple. Annual, let's keep it annual. Why don't we go for quarterly? I don't see them. You may find it somewhere, maybe, but just do it annual. And then 통화 is a currency unit Korean won, and then the billion Korean won unit, 10억 won unit, just to be consistent, because we have to make a ratio between market cap and then the book value of equity. Okay, 10억 won unit, so that we will have a coherent comparison. The ratio will be there. Okay, so that's that one variable, and then see what happens if I submit it. Okay, submit, click it, and then voila, in a second you see all those data is stacked up like this. Okay, and then you will say, wait a minute, in the previous the tab, before we move on, I have to say BE of 2020. Okay, now here all the same companies were, you know, downloaded in a horizontal manner, versus here is vertical manner. Which way do we have to go? Because I have to calculate the ratio, right? Division has to go on, and then I have to run a regression later on. I need to pick one way and then be consistent. My choice is this vertical fashion, stack it up, because in the regression setup, the scatter plot and everything is assuming this kind of data stacking up. Okay, I personally hate this kind of horizontal manner. So I just select these whole rows by clicking these, selecting these rows, and go over to the next insert one tab. Here, what do? I right click and then I transpose and then paste only the values like this. Okay, now what do you see? Now ticker symbol for all different companies and company names are here. I don't need this, I don't need that, I don't need this, I don't need that. I just am sure that this one, okay, is a market cap of all these stocks. So I would say MKT cap. Okay, for all these different stocks. Okay, so that's that. Now, for this one, the book value of equity, what would I do? Well, here, what I need is this one going all the way down to the last one, and then bring it here. I would say paste the value of it. Okay, and then what? I just want to make sure. Why did I paste it over here? I would paste it over here. Just one column difference, and then I don't need this one, and I say this is BE 2020. Okay, now what? I want to make sure these are more matching together. How do I check it? Whether I say this one and that one, if it is the same, it will say true. So it's matching, right? The code is matching, so safely I can claim that they are the same companies. Now I can compute PB ratio. Now that's this guy divided by that guy. Okay, Samsung Biologics, you see PB ratio is as much as 13 times, right? Almost. And then you go down and then double click this cell, right? This part. And then it automatically calculates the PB ratio, all the 90 companies. And I don't, I just want to cut it in the, not cut it, show it 2 digits below decimal points. And you see all different kinds of, PB ratios showing up, okay? For all biotech companies. Good. Let's keep it this way, okay? And we will move down to ROE. I need an ROE. ROE to run a regression. Okay, so for ROE and then perhaps growth rate, okay? But ROE, what do I do? Here I will insert one more sheet, and here I will download those ROE. Okay. Usually the best value over here is expected ROE, because the price, it's about expectation about the future. But past ROE is also okay, assuming that past profitability will hold true going into the future. So, and then what is good about past value is that the more number of observation is available. In contrast, the future ROE, it narrows down to the companies where the equity analyst analyzes. Not all companies listed in the stock market are analyzed by the equity analyst, right? So that's a problem. Now what do you do? Over here, ROE, how do I calculate? I need, for ROE, I need this equity again, right? But a different year, 2019. 2019, because the starting base has to be the beginning of the period, book value of equity. And then net income, I'm going to download one more in another sheet. Okay, so let's just submit it and then get it for 2019 book value of equity. So that's done. So I say this is BE 2019. Okay, I need one more. This is for what is it? The net income. That's 포괄손익계산서 income statement. And then I need to go down to 당기순이익. Yes, this guy, right? Oh, you may say, don't we need the 3년 평균, like average over 3 years and things like that, or annualize the things and forget about it? I say, okay. Just focus on the basic one. Data guide provide all unnecessary values over here. They are trying to, overly kind to you. Here is 3 years average and 4 years average and things like that. But thanks for being kind, but I don't trust you. Data guide, I don't trust you. Plain and simple. So I don't buy that. I don't know what the heck was going on when you were doing the calculation of the, when you were averaging out. Did you drop something anyway? Or is it really 3 years or is it like 2 years only? How do you treat those missing values and things like that? I don't buy that. So just focus on basic things. That's the basic rule. Anyway, so 2019, no, for this net income, I need 2020 net income because I want to calculate the ROE of 2020. Okay, so submit this guy, and then you will see boom, 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 coming up like this. Yes, good. And then what do? Well, forget about, before I forget, and 2020. I will make sure about this before I forget. Now, what I need is this one copied and then bring it over here. Perhaps I would just insert one more sheet and then paste only the value by right clicking it, and then book value of equity again, copy and bring it to here. Okay, and then all I need is over here, so I delete this guy by right clicking it. Remember, this was net income 2020, and this is book equity 2019, right? And then I just want to make sure these two guys are identical. It will be identical anyway, right? Because the computer just keeps the order, right? True, makes sense. And then delete all these things, and then delete the other things. And what I want to calculate is ROE of 2020. Okay, That's this guy divided by that. Make sense? Yes. And then this is it. Okay. Then what? I want to copy this guy and then bring it to sheet number 3 because I want to paste those ROE, right, and paste it as a value because I don't, I just want to make sure again whether this guy is the same as that guy, matching everything, right, like this. Okay, and then once I'm done, I delete all these things. What I need is ROE, right, just like I said, ROE is here. And then the growth rate, I may play with that, but this is the thing. I'm ready to run a regression, but for that part, I need one more step. PB ratio. I want this to be on the right hand side. So why is that the case? Well, because there is a the Excel takes whatever is on the left as X value, whatever is on your right as Y value. Because if you think about the mathematical coordinate of XY plot, right? X comes to the left hand side, Y comes to your right hand side in your coordinate system, XY. So this is X comma Y. So for this part, I want to, ROE is a percentage figure. And then what? Over here, you see some trouble coming up. Some companies' ROE is extreme and not only negative, right, but extreme. So that you may be in trouble. If I run a scatter plot, right, 삽입, and then 차트, right, this is chart, and then a scatter plot. Here's what you are going to see, okay? Oh, by the way, if you want to minimize this thing, you can minimize it by this, like this. And as you see, ROE, right? Where is that? The ROE is on your horizontal axis. 2,500%, or minus 1,000%. Extreme values are shown over here. Not only that, you see PB ratio. Okay, there is a extreme value over here. And by the way, negative PB is not informative, right? It's not helpful for us. And so we want to delete this guy in our analysis. But this is just the first picture, right? First cut picture. So we are, okay with this one. Okay. If we don't do anything and then run regression based on this extreme value present, what happens to our regression? Well, basically, the easiest way to run a regression using this scatter plot is right click and then click 추세선 추가, right? Trend line, and then show me the regression equation on this line, and then R squared value over here, and that's it, what you see over here. And you see a positive relation that you can check with it, but the R squared is very low, 0.0056. It's essentially 0. Okay, which means this regression is not helpful in analyzing the cross-sectional variation of this dependent variable using the independent variable. It's not helpful, right? So we need to do something about this extreme value, and that is what is tricky about. Okay, and then that's where I say art and science, your experience matters, right? How do we take care of this kind of situation? Eliminating those extreme values, right? Essentially Windsorrize it, I say. There's two different ways of doing it: Windsorizing or truncating it. Truncating means dropping. Okay? Windsorizing means replacing with alternative numbers. So we're gonna try that over here. By the way, this is I will label it as aggregating, not a gag, aggregate. aggregating sheet. And then I'm going to copy this one to another sheet. Why don't I just drop or delete anything over here directly? Because I'm going to attach something else over there and then eliminate based on all different variables later on. I don't want to miss variables over here. I just want to keep everything over here for 90 plus values, all right? Companies, right? Anyway, oh, before that, maybe you want to do a histogram. Yeah. Should I draw a histogram over here? Yeah, let's say for a demonstration purpose, let's do that. I'm gonna again copy it and paste it on a different chart, and then I don't need these, right? Market cap or things like that. ROE and PB is what I need, but I want to have an idea about the range of these ROEs, right? ROE, maximum, minimum, average, and standard deviation. Okay, and then I should have done it median. Okay, so maximum is this one all the way down to that guy, right? That's this one, and then I need to copy this one, and then here I say median and paste it, and over here minimum and paste it, and over here average, average, paste it, and then standard deviation, paste it. Okay, and then drag it. This is for PB. All right, now I say like this. Now this is ROE, so it has to be a percentage figure. Okay, you see minimum, maximum is too much going away, right? And average is over there. Now what do you want to do with this? Well, just to show you, okay, the bin, ROE bin, and then here PB bin. I want to generate histogram of these variables. For that purpose, I need to have some, I don't know, percentage range. Now here, no, ROE, standard deviation, too long. Anyway, so 100%, and I say minus 10%, and then the ranges will go like this. Okay, going down to maybe 30% bin, and the PB bin. Yeah, let's focus on ROE first. Okay, for this part, I say go to data, and then here you see data analysis. You can't see it because of my face picture over here, but you will have a data analysis button. Push that, and then you choose histogram over here and click it, and then here you assign the range of the original variable ROE, and then the bin range over here. Okay, you may say, oh, what about the extreme values over here? That one will be lumped into something big based on it. So you can see this one. So you see ROE, okay, kita, right? ROE bin minus 30% to 100%. Bins are over here. Extreme ROEs are lumped into over here. 5,000 ROEs or whatever 1,000 ROEs are lumped into over here. What do? And then the extreme low ROEs are lumped into over here. Minus 1,000 ROEs all the way up until 30% ROEs are lumped into over here, and I can insert a bar chart. Okay, bar chart of ROEs, and I say select the data range over here, right? And then like this, right? So you see ROE histogram, RO histogram, right? And then here I would narrow down the differences in the graph to be making visually more appealing. So this gives us an idea about you know, the distribution. First of all, you see a lot more extreme values of ROE. I mean, way on the right hand side, right? Extreme high ROEs and then very low ROEs as well, but majority of them are clustered around here, right? Median should be around here. If you check out the medians before, what was the median ROE? 4.2%, right? Now that's this guy, 4.2% in the middle. But the average, you see, average is what? 30%. That's 30% is this. That's not where the majority stands. Why is it so big? Because this over here, extreme guys, like 5,000 or whatever, maximum ROE was like what? Oh yeah, almost like 1900% ROE. And some of the extreme values are driving it, right? So that's why. Now you see a better picture about the ROE distribution. How about the PB ratio distribution? You see median is 6 and average is 5. So let's get to, I mean, 65 is also there. So let's say, shall I go from 50 and then minus 5, okay? 45 and then going down to 0, because I mean anything below 0 is meaningless. But let's see how many extreme observations we have. So data and then histogram, choose it, and this one, and PB ratio over here in this column, and then click it, bin specified over here. Okay, click it. So you see PB ratio histogram, you can insert bar chart like this. What the heck, you may say it. The distribution is very strange. It's very right skewed, okay? Positively skewed. You see some extreme observations over there, and the majority of them belongs to this bin. Oh, well, I want to label this guy using this function and then specify the x-axis labels, right, like this. Okay, so it's like up until 5, up until 10, up until 15 PB ratio and things like that, up until 50, and then beyond the 50 is over here. 50 plus is over here, right? Up until 50 and 50 plus. Extreme values, these guys, right? Visually, it's easy to see this, right? Histogram wise, right? Let me see. Yeah. Now, anyway, so that's what we see. Extreme values over here, right? We have to do something about these extreme values. Also, if we specify this to be, so that's that. For extreme values, what would you do? Well, typically I said Windsorize it. Okay, so I am going to copy this one more time and then paste it into a different sheet, and then sort this guy. Finally, sort this based on PB ratio. 오름차순 is like a ascending order. Okay, so extreme values, negative PB all the way up to extreme value high. Okay, now what do you want? What do I want? Well, for this one, okay, clearly I have to delete this guy. because this is a negative number. I cannot work it out. So this is the minimum number, and then the maximum number is down here. Okay, maximum number. What do I do? Well, it seems like more than 40 times. Okay, here I have to set a standard. Okay, Windsorizing at what percentile level? I have to think about it. And then if I say out of 90 percentile, 90 percentile, right? So more than 90th, then I would have to replace this value, these two, with the third highest level value, right? Typically you specify the percentile level. So 90 percentile, Windsorizing at 90th percentile means that whatever beyond 90th percentile, top 100th percentile, or 99th or 95 percentile value, replace those value with the 90th percentile value. Here, I don't specifically have 90th percentile because the number of observation is only 91. And then you saw this is 60, but this one is 40, and which one is more extreme? I mean, these two are clearly extreme, but this one is closer to the rest of them, rather. So I chose this one, and then replace the extreme value with this third highest value. Okay. Don't you have to do this symmetrically over here so that you have to replace the other guys with these third lowest ones? That you can do it that way as well, to be fair. Okay. But I don't enforce that too much because I'm concerned about the right hand side extreme instead of the both hands. If the distribution is bell shaped and it's symmetric, then you'll have to do it symmetrically. But this is not a symmetric distribution. You saw it, it's like a right skewed distribution. So forget about this part. Just keep it over there. Okay. And then, so we Windsorize it. I would say Windsor. Right? Raised. Okay. No. Yeah. Okay, like this. I will color code it so that it will be like this. Okay. Now that's for PB ratio. What about the ROE? So here I'll have to sort it one more time. Data, sorted, and then this time based on ROE, again ascending order. Now I'm troubled with this one and that one in rather symmetrical order. If you look at this ROE distribution, it's more symmetric than PB ratios distribution. So on both sides, I want to, Windsorize it. So how should I choose it? It's between art and science, I told you. I'd rather choose these two observations and then replace it with these third one. Okay, so I'm going to color code it. I'd say orange, on the side. And the other side, extreme, I'm going to use this guy and then replace the others, right? So, yeah, Windsorized both sides. Okay. Now, what do I do? With these Windsorized values, I'm ready to run a regression. So first of all, let's do a scatter plot one more time. 삽입, insert, scatter plot like this. Wow, what do you see? Now you see a better picture than before. You remember, what was that? This one or that one? Was it this guy or that guy? I need to go to the original ROE without over here. Compared to this PB to ROE pictures, right? This versus that, right? It's much better to look at the distribution, okay, of these observations. And this, based on this Windsorized scatter plot, I can now generate a trend line. Okay, add a trend line over here, linear ways, and then R squared over here. Unfortunately, the regression line is just flat. Okay, I'm not happy with this. I know you're not happy with this either. I told you, things does not turn out to be as you intended because of the randomness in the market, right? The data, this is just what you have to live with, right? So this is it, but this is much better than the previous one. Okay, and then if I run a regression based on this, I will get no result. Okay, the coefficient will be close to 0. Let's run the regression just for pedagogical purpose. All right, you remember this, right? Over here, and then run a regression. How do I run a regression? Here, go back to data section again and data analysis, and then you will see 회귀 분석, regression analysis, and click it. What do? Y variable is this one, PB. Okay, PB, Y variable, X variable, ROE. Okay, yeah, ROE, click it. 이름표, label is here, the first item, right? And then what? Here you can just click about the residuals, all those things. Fine, I'm not gonna, explain it too much over here, but just click yes. And then it will generate the regression result, univariate regression result over here. And then what you see, those R squared, okay, R squared is this one, right? 다중상관계수, right? I think this is it. Is it? Anyway, 결정계수, right? That's R squared, and this is the adjusted R squared. Adjusted R squared being minus means like this is meaningless regression. Fine, it happens. Shit happens as you do it. You will do it many times as you do the project. But just for pedagogical purpose, what's the regression result? It's basically here. The coefficient estimates, the point estimate is over here. Okay, here I would say the intercept. Okay, intercept. That's this guy. The intercept. This regression line. You see, you check it out. This number over here, right? I'm gonna carry this one to the next slide. Remember, this line is flat, and then it has an intercept over here. And then, so if I go bring it over here. It's this guy. Intercept 9.38, right? 9.33. That's this guy. Intercept. And then the slope, minus 0.12. That's this guy, minus 0.12. Ah, yes. There are two different ways of running univariate regression. By scatter plotting and then adding trend line like this, or explicitly running a regression and then only looking at seeing the numerical result like this. Now, statistical significance is the thing you are always interested in. So, why intercept? Well, 9.29. Yeah, that's statistically significant. What's the test going on over here? The test null hypothesis is that this intercept is 0. Of course, it's not 0. You see this graph over here is always positive. Average is 9.2. What this tells us is that the average PB ratio of these guys, right, is 9.2 something. If you go back to this, where is that? This, where is that? Aggregating. PB, yeah, over here, PB, right? Average over here was like very small, 5.78 something. Why was it small? Because we had very negative PB, extreme low PB ratio. Okay, but if you eliminate those things, then the average will be close to 9.3 or something like that. That's what this is telling us. Okay, that's it. But what is more important is about this slope term. Okay, slope, the coefficient of this ROE. Okay, is it statistically significantly different from 0? And the answer is no, insignificantly different from 0. T-value is very small in magnitude, and then p-value is very big, 92%, right? Yeah, what's the chance, right? You know, that the null hypothesis is correct, 92%. Yeah, so you cannot reject the null, that the slope is 0. And visually you can see it, it's 0. Yeah, confirmed. That's that. Now, you may be pissed off. Andy, that's disappointing, man. Can you give me some more convincing result, right? Depends, right? Let's look at some expected value. Come on, expected value of ROE. Okay, for pedagogical purpose, I say. Over there, right? Over there, on the right-hand side, going back to the data guide. Oh, by the way, once you have this kind of result, by the way, okay, if this is the case, and this is the end of the day, and you still have an insignificant result like this, then what's your investment rule, your recommendation? Still, you can make a recommendation. Okay, for this part, roughly speaking, these guys are overvalued, and the guys well below over there may be undervalued. Okay, that could be your rough recommendation. Sell, buy. Okay, for some of these stocks, but that's not that much accurate. How much of a confidence do you have? Low confidence, right? Anyway, so that's that. Over here, instead of historical ROE, let's bring analyst expectation, consensus level ROE. Okay, so there I'm going to go for consensus over here. Analyst's consensus about some ROE. So this is consensus is about analyst expectation. They announce, right? E3 means like 3 months prior. Okay, or is it like updated 3 months just before, right? Most recent expectations over the past 3 months or things like that. Now, what do they have? Analysts, right, for all different companies, not all, but you will see a part of it. They announce, right, what companies operating profit will be like what, and then asset will be like what, and things like that. Sales will be like what, and then those profitability will be like what. So here you see ROE, right? So analysts median ROE expectation, okay? For a single company like Samsung Biologics, not only one analyst announced their ROE expectation, but also many tens of analysts study the same company, Samsung Biologics, and announce their own respective ROE expectations. Now, what's the median expected ROE? That's this guy. What's the maximum, minimum, and things like that? So that's ROE over here. Other expected values you can check out and download and play with it. But now I'm just focused on this median. Why do I choose median? Well, extreme values of maximum and minimum could be too much. So let's take the median as a consensus. Yeah. So I for this part, 자료기간, I would say for future. Okay, for future, let's go there. I'm not clear too much about how things will turn out. Should I expand it to be 2020 and 21 just to make sure I get the expectation about the future? Okay, fine. Submit it. And you see the data shows up in a column manner, in a vertical way. Okay, good. So I remove it to here, ROE, yes. And then, oh yeah, for the same companies, right? Expectation about the future is here. Okay, 2021 ROE, how much would it be? I don't have that data, but the analyst, right, was expecting it, and their median value of ROE for Samsung Biologics is over here, right? And previous year, their expectations was like this. 2020, how much ROE would they achieve? They said 4.74 percentage point. Coming year, how much are they anticipating it to be? 9.27%. That's what we get over here. Now, having said that, add one more sheet, and here let's just focus on 2021, just to simplify and make my life easy. Okay. Over here, the data downloading is done. Okay, and a lot of empty space. You see it. What does this mean? It means analysts are busy. Not many analysts are there in the market. So many companies are skipped. They don't generate these expectations for these small companies. They're forgotten companies. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, this is the reason why I just focused on my past ROEs. But what is good about it is to the extent that it is anticipated by the analyst, we have those data. Now copy this one and bring it to what? Those aggregating data set. Here I'm going to paste it on, paste it somewhere here. Okay, the thing is, yeah, I should paste the value, and I minimize this one, and I don't need this part. Okay, and then delete it, and then push it up. Yes, make sure those ticker symbols are the same because I want it to be matching each other. Yes, make sure about it step by step. And then this is expected ROE, right? Expected ROE over the next year, right? Now that's that. Okay, fine. Then what? Now we have to think about how much extreme they are, right? So for that part, I'm gonna come back and talk to you in the next video. Thanks for watching.